October has been bustling and beautiful following the foliage around New England. Kyle had been hired for some videography work, so we went north into the White Mountains in a cabin away from home, which I loved, but was also longing to be back at our cabin to soak in the seasonal traditions and enjoy the last bits of warmth before any snow arrives. Regardless, it was such a wonderful stretch of time. Some mornings were slow and cozy, and some were spent on the summit trails trying to beat the sunrise. This is definitely my favorite pocket to be outdoors. The weather is just the right balance of sun and breeze. And while out there, we swung by one of our favorite shops, Lonesome Woods, to see our friend Nick and stock up on some of his gear. The whole place is absolutely filled with a mesmerizing curation of goods. Before we left, he told us of some good local fishing spots. So afterwards, we went out to some of them for golden hour and then enjoyed one more night by the fire away from home. Honestly, that whole week, I was trying to quiet the voice inside telling me I should be working more. I just know there's a lot coming with the cold and securing firewood and winterizing the cabin and A-frame renovations. And I've got a lot going on behind the scenes right now with my shop and other work, so it felt really good to truly pause for a bit. So cold this morning. This is my first golden milk of the year. It's one of my favorite things to drink when it's cold. Sort of just like all the fall flavors in a mug at once. It's really good for you too. You can boost your immunity, soothe your nervous system, and also reduce inflammation.
My favorite memories. Remember when suddenly my feet came from under me.
It feels so weird to be eating strawberries fresh in October here. Looks like a couple worms got this one, but... So it's getting to that point in the harvest season where, specifically at the cabin, it's like patience, patience all season long, and then boom, everything's ready, you gotta harvest it right now, the frost is on its way, are you gonna beat the frost? So I just dove right in and started gathering herbs, but I've got things like carrots and beets and zucchini and cabbage and leeks that I have to get soon. I do use a lot of herbs for my home oil infusions that I can make into salves and different holistic goods. But this year I also grew a lot of culinary herbs, and I'm really excited about it because I'm going to preserve them for the season, use them when the holidays come around. Oh, that's so fragrant. I love the smells of the harvest. Can you hear those coyotes? I don't know if you can hear that. Can you? What a beautiful sound. Oh! Man, I love when that happens, especially under the full moon. Magical here. So many needles and leaves in the bed. Sometimes I do it in the spring, sometimes I do it in the fall to make it easier for myself when the spring comes around, but yeah, this all has to get raked out of here at some point. I don't know if there's anything simple about this off-grid garden at all. Lack of sun exposure, wild animals everywhere. The pine branches fall and take out my fence and leave all of these behind too. The cherry on top has to be that my solar powered drip irrigation system. The pipe busted on it, so water can't travel to these beds, and that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. But regardless, I wouldn't trade this for anything. This is my special little spot. And I love the challenge of learning how to work with what I'm given. Oh my gosh, it looks like the sunset's about to be insane. Okay, onions, garlic, and I'll throw some bay leaf in too, just while the squash finishes roasting. Every time autumn comes around, all I want is soup and bread, and I need Kyle to teach me his sourdough magic because what I would do for a fresh loaf of bread with this tonight. But I just gotta scoop out the squash and onion and everything into the pot next to me, and I'm gonna hit it with the immersion blender. This pot is way too big for tonight, but I actually don't have like a good medium-sized one right now, so maybe I will look into that. Yeah, this is perfect texture. Just bring this right here. Wow, that's flavorful. What do you think? I did not realize the glass was broken over here. Looks like it still will hold the spoon though. This is an herb infused salt. They're so easy to make. It's just salt and whatever herb or combination of herbs you'd like to blend. For this particular batch, I just dried it out to be safe. That makes it shelf stable for a really long time. You can totally use fresh herbs, but then you'd probably just want to store it in the fridge and use it quickly. And also it would usually be a bit more green because I would add a lot of herbs, but this is for a friend for their birthday, and I wanted it to be really palatable and able to be used in diverse dishes. You definitely can't see it from all the way over there, but it's got really beautiful speckling in it from the chives. Typically the end of the harvest season comes around and I just gather all my herbs and I dry them out and store them in a mason jar if I'm not going to use them in an oil infusion or a smudge stick or something like that. But this year I'm definitely going to be incorporating more salts when it comes to preserving and prolonging their uses. Just a fun way to switch it up. Smells really good. I love giving people handmade things. Yeah, I really want to play with herb blends more and see what works well together.